not an individual contact, but a board contact, unless it's an emergency. As David might need to contact a lawyer or something, but us as a board, instead of individuals contact, we need to get together and say, okay, we need to contact our attorney. No more calls, no more emails unless it's board approved. And I don't know if that means if we need, all four need to talk, if we need to have a quorum, or what it would be. That would just be covering everybody. But hey, you know, it wasn't like I went behind your back and tried to contact somebody. Here it is up front, you know, everybody knows about it before it happens. Just from the simple fact, as we all know, attorney, you got to have a lawyer. I mean, they are a necessity. I think that just would cover everybody's bases. No one gets in trouble that they've contacted a lawyer and saying that this is, as an ESD deal, you're not as an individual, but as a board. Y'all may not think that's right. Y'all may want to be able to contact them direct without going through the rest of the board.
It sounds reasonable, but just, I mean, not to start any arguments, but what would have happened when I wanted Ken to look at some comments I had on the MOU? We wouldn't have had time to go to board meetings. So what would happen in cases like that? Because there were issues with the MOU that I saw from a legal perspective, and not for argument, but that I needed to talk with him about.
I think, like I say, in case of emergency, I don't include David in this thing. If it's an emergency contact, that when you got a director, you talk to the director and say, hey, we've got an emergency, and I feel capable, he'll say, yes, this is an emergency and it needs to be done, to contact, but if not, he'll say, you need to get the board together and get it approved. I mean, you know, I was putting the pressure on him. I'm using him as our out because he is our director. I'm not putting him in with the board. Because he is not a board member, but he is also the director.
One good point about that, and I'm sure there are others, is that we would at least all know when we're negotiating or.
It's not perfect. I agree with you on that, because there's always something that can come up that needs to be done quickly. My suggestion is if that needs to be done quickly, it be done through David. And when David make the decision that yes, it is an emergency and we needed to do it.
And notify the whole board at that moment?
Yeah, just give a character, hey, we had to do this and this is what's happening. If nobody had, you know, that's just my suggestion. Y'all got some other suggestions, I'm more happy to hear that.
If for some reason you feel you need to contact a lawyer, you need to contact at least one of the other commissioners.
All of them, really, don't you think?
Let me
I'm
finish.
sorry, I thought.
Need to contact one of the other commissioners, and then y'all decide if y'all need to actually contact the lawyer. Then at the next meeting, you get to defend why you contacted that lawyer, the both of you. Because if it's two people, usually, you know, one of them might say, no, we don't need to contact him for that.
Two's a quorum.
Two is not a quorum.
It's not a quorum, three's a quorum. I don't know why I keep saying that. Three's a quorum.
I'm not trying to cut you off from anything, just trying to cover everybody's bases. I may not like Roger contacting. Well, I don't always agree with Roger.
I kind of like the idea of our just notifying the board if we're gonna contact the attorney about something.
Well, the only problem with that is you're gonna run into, you're having a meeting without a meeting called.
Can we keep doing the text messaging, like if we have a problem with all of us?
I think we're
No?
having,
Not to decide on anything, but to say.
She's not
this has
saying
been
to the
brought up.
lawyer, but to each other.
I think
Right.
You know what you're saying?
we're
Yes.
careful with our text messaging and our emails because we're having
Quorum.
meetings through the text message.
Well, you're not having meetings, but it can be construed.
It's construed as meetings. I think the attorney alluded to that in one of his replies to some things that were being said last month or whatever it was. I think we need to be cautious of that. And I agree. I mean, we voted Carlos as our president, and we trust, you know, in doing that, trust his judgment. So I would recommend that if one of us feels compelled to get a legal opinion,
Contact Carl.
contact Carlos and that, and
well, so what's wrong with, I mean, we've been pretty good about being able to come together as a board on short notice. We all live here and we worked around people's schedules. So I personally, I would like to see the board be notified in some way that there would be a meeting. We don't have to say what it's about, just that there would be
You
a
have to
meeting.
say me, you have to say what it's about,
And it
it's
has
gonna
to
be
be-
a public
And
meeting.
it has to be posted
It has to
72
be
hours
ad-
before.
I'm sorry,
posted
contact,
72 hours.
I misworded that, contact with the attorney, I'm sorry. That there would be contact with the attorney, and then if we,
Because we're in a tight budget, and, I mean, I think it needs to be more than one person's decision to contact the attorney.
or two.
Let me clarify something that was said earlier.
Mhm.
You know, when I made my comments about attorney's fees and missing an ambulance payment, we didn't miss an ambulance payment for attorney fees. We missed our ambulance payments because our income didn't come in. Right? Things are very, very tight, especially at the end of the fiscal year and the beginning of the new fiscal year before the tax money starts rolling in. And so that's why I was cautioning concerning attorney's fees and contacting the attorney back then. It had nothing to do with the attorney paying attorney's fees causing us to miss that ambulance payment. It was a timing issue. And a receipt of tax money and a receipt of income issue. We just have to be very careful during that latter part of the year and the beginning of the year. So what we do, and, you know, I was not in favor of having the attorney come down for that meeting the other day, but I got outvoted. You know, that's the way it goes. And that's the reason why, I mean, the hospital deal is, from my perspective, balls in their court. We got nothing else to do, we're wasting our time talking about it. And until the next phase is over and they decide what they want to do, we got nothing really to do. And there was no reason to spend money on that. It was my attitude at that point in time. Nothing, you know, I mean, our budget is tight. Our budget is tight. We need to be able to put 10% of our income away a year into a contingency fund. We have been unable to do that. We've been unable to do that because we want top quality people taking care of people in our district. And we want very, I don't know if top quality is the right word when it comes to the equipment. But we want to be able to provide that mobile ICU. So we want to be able to provide the equipment to take care of that. And we want people to have what they need to do in the back of that truck with the minimizing any room for errors and what have you. And I think we've been good about doing that. Have we bought Cadillacs? I don't think so. We bought good quality stuff that does everything the Cadillac does. You know, so I think we've been judicious in using our funds in that regard. But in doing that, we're not able to put that reserve together that we really need. We've had some vehicle expenses that we talked about here this morning. You know, that should not be an issue, but 2 years ago, it wasn't an issue. You know, we had a reserve, but we have used that reserve up. And we just have to be cautious about what we spend our money on. I mean, I shudder every time I see we buy new tires or we redesigned this ambulance to get rid of EPA stuff. I probably shouldn't say that. But better when I think of spending that money, but I know that it's money that has to be spent. You know, I don't wanna be the green eye shade guy that's always negative on everything. But I just caution that we be judicious in what we do with this board. Started out being a very conservative board, and it's been a very conservative board, yet providing quality service to this county, or to this district. And I want us to continue to do that. And if we have to rob Peter to pay Paul from time to time to make that happen, albeit it would be nice if we didn't have to.
So we're gonna take any action on this, attorney?
Well, I agree with Roger. I had never thought it that way, but I agree with Roger. I think it'd be a good thing that any board member that feels we need to contact a lawyer, that we contact you and both heads prevail and say, yeah, I think you're right, we need to do this. We can't wait to have that, like you're talking about an emergency, can't wait that 72 hours, something needs to be taken and done now.
I just need to make a comment here, and I'll
Sure.
ask Carlos. I don't think Carlos, have you ever agreed when I've asked for attorney fees, agreed up front, or did I have to really fight and kick to get legal agreements?
Well, you have to fight and kick, and that would be with anybody. I'm gonna sit there and tell you probably no the first time unless you can give me a really good answer. Like I said, like Roger said, we're tight. And unless it's a matter of life and death or a huge lawsuit that we're gonna get ourselves into, I can't see a big reason to contact an attorney unless, you know, we're going into some negotiations with some other district or whatever. Well, you know, but, you know,
Yeah.
for normal, everyday business, and, I don't, yeah, I'll fight any of the commissioners, you know, you're gonna have to give me a good reason to call an attorney, not at $600-700 an hour.
Can we establish some guidelines of when it's necessary, and can we get some written something about, to guide us when we as a board agree we should contact an attorney, and shouldn't, we still would go through you, but some guidelines, and if it fits under this, we can do it with your with your knowledge?
You know, don't say permission.
No, because,
Well, I mean,
because I do know I err
I
on
mean,
the
to
side
me,
of.
and like I said,
I'm not-
unless it, I mean, everybody can decide on that, but to me personally, unless it's a matter of us getting ourselves into a huge lawsuit, I can't see any reason to contact an attorney other than without it coming to the board on a regular meeting.
We've had some legal documents with legal terms that this board had, in my opinion, has no business agreeing to without legal counsel.
Well, that could be brought to a board meeting, you know, if it's a regular legal document.
Anyway, if we could come up with some guidelines, I would be happy with going through Carlos, having two people. Other than that,
Well, if
I'm
you
not very
wanna-
comfortable with it.
If you wanna draw up some guidelines and bring them to the next meeting, that would be, and we'll look at them. So we'll table that for the next meeting. Countywide EMS.
Oh, I guess I wanted to talk about, or I do want to talk about, I don't know, we don't know what's gonna happen March 11th, but no matter what happens March 11th, it doesn't mean things are set in stone as to how we go forward, I know. But if we enter into an agreement with the hospital in any event, we need to get all the right terms and conditions in there, and I would like to be involved in the legal terms, and I'd like the whole board to be involved in every step of that, and not negotiate terms without the rest of the boards knowing it. But a major thing I wanted to bring up is in the MOU, and everyone's saying it's non-binding, and it won't be binding unless it won't be binding unless, but,
Excuse me, let me interrupt.
Yes.
The lawyer said it's non-binding.
but we agreed in there, and the lawyer also did say during our closed meeting that you're talking about, I won't say what he said, but,
It's hard to do it without saying what we said.
I know.
It's very hard.
I know, so, in that memorandum of understanding, this ESD that has no money agreed to pay legal fees to work on that agreement with Connolly that's gonna benefit from this
Okay,
whole thing.
let me stop
So,
you again.
let me just finish this.
Let me stop
then.
you again on that. We haven't agreed to pay any legal fees. We haven't agreed.
In the memorandum of
anything.
understanding, it
We
says that.
haven't agreed to do anything.
Now, may I finish my sentences, Carlos? In the memorandum of agreement, let me just read what it says, and I don't think you can argue with that. It says, non-binding, and I don't have that page, of course, that we will pay it says we will pay legal fees, our legal fees to have this all negotiated, and they will pay theirs. That's not the way it should have been done, and I believe our attorney would agree with that, that they should pay all the legal fees. We don't have legal fees to pay for that. That was one of my comments I made that was ignored before the MOU was put before us to vote. There are other terms in there that should have been talked about amongst us, at least for us to talk about and get our input. None of that happened. On this ESD that's coming forward, I was gonna bring specific points, but I'm not. I don't have those and I won't talk about them yet. If it happens, I would like to be involved. I'd like the whole board to be involved with every step of the negotiation. The draft, I know that's a little overly, but I'd like us to get copies of the drafts. I'd like us to have input and to talk about things before we come up with figures. In the MOU, we wound up, y'all are saying that it covers payments. We also had talked about in the workshop that they would have to pay for our supplies and take our supplies. I know that MOU isn't complete, but that doesn't cover the supplies we'd be giving them. I don't know how that would be covered. I think as a board, we need to put all of our all of our heads together and talk about that before anything's signed, binding or non-binding. So going forward, I'm asking that. And if any of you have an issue, if we could just talk about it now, that would be great.
We hit upon it a little bit in that we did, it was mentioned in the meeting, I think, I don't have the record, but that, you know, when it's taken over, like our ambulance and stuff, and we lease it to them, they would have to be making the payments that are left to make payments. They take over our medical equipment, our supplies, they would have to be reimbursed for that. But, now, I don't think there was anything binding said there. I don't think anything was ever written down and set in stone, which I agree with you on that. I agree with you on the deal about attorney's fees. You know, this is not our puppy, it's their puppy, they're gonna do it, they need to pay the legal fees for it. I agree with you 100% on that. We've talked about that all along. If things have to come to any kind of a vote, we have talked about, you know, if our area has to vote to do this, they pay for that, not us. I mean, we're not getting something out of it, it's them, and I agree with you on any legal fees, any votes, anything like that. I really believe that's their expense, not ours.
And the insurance on our vehicles, I don't think that's covered. We have to carry the insurance, if I understand right. Is that right? Those just weren't mentioned in there.
I would think if you own it, yeah, I think you're correct.
So ultimately, what were you gonna say, David?
I was gonna say the hospital carries the insurance you're listed as certificate holder.
Okay.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Hospital carries the insurance, you're listed, the board, the district is listed as a certificate holder.
Okay. So, anyway, and before, and we need to have plenty of time before it's gonna come to a vote. We need to talk about it amongst ourselves and negotiate it amongst ourselves, or negotiate what we think is gonna work before it's just clunk, we're gonna vote on it. So I'll make a motion that we do that. No, what are you thinking about it? What do you think?
So about the legal fee?
About the terms, about all of our agreeing that we as a board negotiate and talk about and agree to the terms that we can accept, legal and business and everything, with David's input, and you know, because he's the one that knows all that. I just don't think we should go off negotiating without everyone having a chance to discuss and have their points taken, and not ignored. So I don't know how we can do that, but I would like for us to ought to agree to that, or tell me why we shouldn't.
Well, I got no problem negotiating with them. I think, you know, there again, when you're talking about legal fees, we're probably gonna be into some legal fees there, because I don't think we need to sign any final document without our lawyer going through it and say, yeah, you did this right or no, because I mean, that's the kind of lawyer he is. There's gonna be some things that we just flat don't know legally.
and we don't know what isn't said in some things. I mean, that's the big thing. Sometimes what a document doesn't say, that none of us have any idea about, is just as critical.
I agree.
I think this is putting the cart before the horse. I don't see any reason to discuss this at all.
But we should have discussed this before the MOU went to where it went. We need to discuss this
I don't
because,
think we need to discuss it at all.
why not?
Why? Because we're gonna, I mean, if and when this comes about, first thing we're gonna do is, then we're gonna contact the lawyer.
As a board or individually as a
No,
board?
as a board.
Are we gonna talk about the terms that we're working with the attorney on?
Yeah, with the lawyer.
Do you
And
have
then
some
he's gonna
issue?
go to their lawyer and they're gonna talk.
So are we individually gonna have some input into what that attorney agrees to?
Well, yeah.
Specifically, what did I say specifically that you don't agree with?
All of it.
You don't agree with
even,
anything
I don't
I
even,
said?
I don't feel it's even up for discussion at this time.
Why not? It will cause
Why?
another issue like the memorandum of understanding. I'm just trying to make sure we don't get into that again. This is a really important document, so.
Right,
what
it
do-
is
what- how-
important. I mean, there's no reason to discuss it. We're not even signing anything with the hospital.
So if we
I mean,
sign,
it's,
if you intend to sign something with the
I don't
hospital, how
intend
many
to
days
sign
notice?
anything right now.
How many days notice would you give us to review something, and would all of our
It would
input
be
be heard?
put in-
Carlos, may I finish
it-
my question? And
Go.
would all of our input be considered?
First we'd bring it to the board. That would be the first thing we'd do. It would be put on a regular monthly meeting agenda.
That's what I'm
And
asking.
then we would decide on exactly how we're gonna handle it. And when we're gonna contact the lawyer. Me personally, I'd contact him right away. But that would all be voted on in the board meeting.
Are you saying, how would we as a board would we as a board have any input as to the figures?
I just said it would be brought into the board meeting and then we would discuss it.
Why not now, Carlos?
Because
I know
we're not
things are
doing
being said with-
anything.
So we're not, so David, you're not
Because
talking.
Conley
to us
hadn't
then?
said anything to
There's
us.
been no discussions about anything to do with District 3 in the hospital since the MOU's been signed. It was supposed to be dead in the water, nothing to be brought up about it until after March 11th and to see what the decision is then. That the rollback is successful, then what? So we're sitting, and I guess what Carlos is trying to say, we're sitting there spinning the wheels for nothing because we don't know what March 11th brings. After March 11th, then if the rollback is unsuccessful and the hospital plans to move forward, and then that's whenever start having conversations. And I think to answer your question, to go back to the closed session, and I'm not gonna talk about what we talked about in there, but you know what was said, and it was said, collectively, we're all going to have conversations about this in a board meeting.
I think your concern is you want it done in a timely manner.
This isn't gonna happen in 30
And
days.
I agree with that, not be done
Other,
just slipshod, but
You're
be,
right.
to have time to go over and review it, and I agree with that.
This
But I
isn't
agree
gonna
with you,
happen.
kind of ahead of ourselves there,
No
just
way
yet.
ahead of ourselves.
This isn't gonna happen in a day, it ain't gonna happen in 30 days. I mean, I think this is probably gonna take several months, if it happens, of negotiations back and forth between attorneys, between boards, between, you know, I mean, there's a lot at stake here, so.
Well, let me put this way. Forget the hospital, forget this whole thing. As a matter of practice, when we have a legal document to negotiate or to sign, we as a board should, I'm asking that we as a board discuss the terms, the business terms and the legal terms before we go to the other side, or we all sit at a table. Generally, not the hospital, I mean, every agreement that we as a board are asked to vote on, we as a board need to be involved in negotiating and agreeing to the terms. Can we agree to that? I'm not talking about the hospital particularly.
Mr. Derek, it would all come up to a board meeting and we would discuss it.
So you're saying that we would discuss it all in the board meeting before we negotiate with the party? Are you saying you would negotiate before the board meeting? I don't understand. Exactly what Grace said I say sometimes, I don't understand. What do you mean?
I don't know how to make you understand whatever. It would be brought at the board meeting, that's all I can say.
After or before you've talked to the other party? I'm just asking, I think we should.
Well, you're gonna have to talk to the other party, in other words, to know what you're trying to negotiate.
I'm sorry.
But I know what you're talking, I think I know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
not to have anything already drawn up in agreement
Yes.
before the board meeting.
Yes. I'm asking that be done. Carlos can't agree to it, but I'm asking that be done for the record, so.
At least have an outline of the thing, not necessarily the finalized document, but at least an outline of what we're discussing.
In agreement and discussion with the board. Yes.
Oh, I got no problem with that, I mean, because you've got to know what you're agreeing or not agreeing to.
You have time to discuss your thoughts.
But like Carl, no matter what we do, it's still gotta come before the board and during the board meeting, so, but, I think that's just it'd be a good practice to have some.
It was uncomfortable to have to defend my position when people were waiting to sign it, and there was just back to the hospital, there was a big presentation, and I'm trying to defend my position when it's something we as a board should have done as a board previously, in my opinion. So I'm just trying to figure out a way to get around that, and to move forward like a real board moves forward, and we usually have, so I'm thinking we